In the early 17th century, a brave group of individuals embarked on a perilous journey across the Atlantic Ocean in search of religious freedom and a new life. Today, we delve into the historic Mayflower Voyage, a pivotal chapter in the story of the Pilgrims' journey to the New World. In the early 17th century, England was undergoing a period of religious turmoil. The Pilgrims, a group of devout separatists, faced persecution for their descent from the Church of England. Unwilling to compromise their religious beliefs, they made the courageous decision to leave their homeland in search of a place where they could worship freely. These separatists believed in the idea of a pure church, free from the influence of the Church of England. Fearing persecution, they organized secret meetings and worship services in defiance of the established authorities. However, the challenges they faced in England pushed them to seek refuge in a place where they could live according to their own convictions. The decision to embark on such a perilous journey was not taken lightly. The Pilgrims spent months making preparations for their voyage, gathering supplies, and saying heartfelt goodbyes to friends and family. Their determination to forge a new life in an unknown land was fueled by a deep conviction that religious freedom was worth the sacrifices they were about to make. As they prepared to board the Mayflower, the Pilgrims faced adversity not only from external pressures but also from the uncertainties that lay ahead. The prospect of leaving everything familiar behind, including their homes and the comfort of their communities, added an emotional weight to their already challenging endeavor. The Mayflower Voyage, therefore, wasn't just a physical journey across the Atlantic. It was a spiritual and emotional pilgrimage for a group of people seeking a sanctuary for their beliefs. Little did they know that their journey would become a cornerstone in the history of religious freedom and the founding of a new nation in the vast expanse of the New World. The Mayflower, a 180-ton ship, was chosen to carry the Pilgrims across the Atlantic. A sturdy vessel, it would become a symbol of hope and endurance during the arduous journey that lay ahead. The vessel chosen to carry the Pilgrims across the tumultuous Atlantic was the Mayflower, a modest 180-ton ship with a storied history. Originally a cargo ship, the Mayflower underwent modifications to accommodate the passengers and supplies essential for the arduous journey. On the 6th of September 1620, the Mayflower set sail from the port of Plymouth, England, with 102 passengers on board, including men, women, and children. The ship's relatively small size added to the challenges the Pilgrims would face during the weeks at sea, testing not only their physical endurance but also their unity and resolve. The Mayflower, with its distinctive 3 masts and a single deck, faced the unpredictable nature of the North Atlantic. Stormy seas, turbulent weather, and cramped quarters were constants during the 66-day voyage. The ship became both a haven and a prison for the Pilgrims as they navigated the vast, open waters with determination and hope in their hearts. Life on the Mayflower was far from luxurious. Cramped living conditions meant that families were forced to share limited space, and provisions were meager. Seasickness, which plagued many aboard, only added to the challenges. Yet, amidst the difficulties, a sense of community emerged as the Pilgrims supported one another through prayer, camaraderie, and a shared vision of a better future. The Mayflower, with its creaking timbers and billowing sails, became a floating symbol of the Pilgrims' collective determination to seek religious freedom. As the ship sailed further into the unknown, the Pilgrims clung to the hope that awaited them on the shores of the New World. The Mayflower, though a vessel of wood and sails, carried the dreams and aspirations of those on board. Little did its passengers know that the challenges faced on this historic journey would forge a legacy that resonates through the centuries, forever marking the Mayflower as a vessel of courage and resilience in the pursuit of freedom. The Mayflower set sail from Plymouth, England, on September 6, 1620, carrying 102 passengers, including men, women, and children. The journey was treacherous, with stormy seas, cramped conditions, and the constant threat of illness. The Mayflower's journey across the vast Atlantic Ocean was not for the faint of heart. The ship faced relentless storms, tumultuous seas, and unpredictable weather conditions that tested the resolve of the Pilgrims on board. The North Atlantic in the fall presented formidable challenges. The Mayflower was tossed about by fierce winds and towering waves, putting both the ship and its passengers in constant jeopardy. Seasickness and exhaustion became daily companions as the Pilgrims navigated through the tempest, clinging to the hope that awaited them on the distant shores. Below deck, the living conditions were far from ideal. The ship, designed primarily for cargo transport, lacked the comforts of home. Families huddled together in tight quarters, facing the hardships of confinement, limited fresh air, and the ever-present sea spray that permeated the ship's wooden hull. As the voyage progressed, sickness took its toll on the passengers. Many fell ill, grappling with the harsh realities of life at sea. The Pilgrims, however, demonstrated resilience in the face of adversity. They cared for the sick, prayed together, and drew strength from their shared purpose. Despite the challenges, the Pilgrims maintained a sense of community through their shared faith. They held religious services on board, seeking solace and guidance in their beliefs. The Mayflower, amid the rolling waves and howling winds, became a floating sanctuary where the Pilgrims found comfort in their shared pursuit of religious freedom. As weeks turned into months, the Pilgrims faced the harsh reality of rationing supplies. Food and water were carefully distributed, and the resourcefulness of the passengers became evident as they adapted to the limited provisions. The voyage, challenging as it was, became a testament to the Pilgrims' endurance, unity, and unwavering commitment to their ideals. Through the darkest nights and stormiest days, the Mayflower pressed on, carrying the hopes and dreams of those on board. Little did they know that the trials of the journey would pale in comparison to the challenges and opportunities that awaited them on the shores of the New World. The Mayflower's voyage was more than a physical crossing. It was a transformative journey that would shape the destiny of a fledgling community seeking freedom in an unknown land. During the voyage, the Pilgrims recognized the need for order and governance in their new community. On board the Mayflower, they drafted the Mayflower Compact, a historic document that established a self-governing agreement among the passengers. As the Mayflower sailed towards the New World, the Pilgrims recognized the need for a governing structure to maintain order and establish a sense of unity in their new community. In the midst of the ocean, aboard the cramped quarters of the ship, they gathered to deliberate and form a crucial document that would shape the course of their collective destiny. In November 1620, the Pilgrims, facing the challenges of uncertainty and realizing the importance of cooperation, drafted the Mayflower Compact. This historic document was a social contract that established the framework for self-governance among the passengers. It marked a significant moment in the history of democratic principles, predating other foundational documents like the U.S. Constitution. With quills in hand, the Pilgrims affixed their signatures to the compact, pledging to create a government for the general good of the colony. This act of collective decision-making laid the groundwork for a democratic tradition that would influence the shaping of future societies in the New World. The Mayflower Compact acknowledged the authority of the Crown while emphasizing the importance of consent and cooperation among the colonists. It set forth the idea that the government's power derived from the people, anticipating the democratic principles that would later become integral to the founding of the United States. Having signed the compact, the Pilgrims made a deliberate choice to display it prominently within the Mayflower, symbolizing their commitment to the principles of self-governance and mutual consent. This historic agreement, forged in the crucible of the Atlantic voyage, laid the foundation for the Pilgrims' future interactions with the Native Americans and their establishment of Plymouth Colony. As the Mayflower sailed closer to the shores of Cape Cod, the Mayflower Compact became more than a set of rules. It was a declaration of shared values and a commitment to creating a society where the ideals of freedom, justice, and cooperation would be upheld. Little did the Pilgrims know that this compact, signed in the confines of their vessel, would become a cornerstone in the building of a new nation on the shores of the New World. 66 days at sea, the Mayflower and its weary passengers finally spotted land on the horizon. On November 11, 1620, the ship dropped anchor off the coast of Cape Cod. The sight of solid ground brought a mix of relief, excitement, and anticipation for the Pilgrims who had weathered the challenges of the perilous transatlantic journey. As the Pilgrims prepared to disembark, a sense of uncertainty hung in the air. They were in an unfamiliar land, far from the comforts and certainties of their homeland. The weather-beaten Mayflower had become both a sanctuary and a prison, and now the Pilgrims faced the daunting task of establishing a new home in a wilderness unknown to them. Stepping onto the solid ground of Cape Cod, the Pilgrims faced the harsh New England winter, an environment vastly different from what they had known in England. Yet, Undeterred by the challenges that awaited them, they forged ahead with a determination to build a community founded on the principles of religious freedom and self-governance. The Pilgrims, led by figures like William Bradford, explored the region and eventually chose Plymouth as the site for their settlement. Little did they know that this decision would mark the birth of Plymouth Colony, a pioneering community that would play a crucial role in the establishment of the United States. The arrival of the Pilgrims in the New World also marked the beginning of interactions with the indigenous peoples, particularly the Wampanoag. These interactions, initially tentative, would evolve into complex relationships, shaping the course of history for both the Pilgrims and the Native Americans. Facing the harsh realities of survival in the untamed wilderness, the Pilgrims began the arduous task of building their homes. Through the bitter winter months, they persevered, forging a sense of community and resilience that would be crucial to their survival in this challenging new environment. The Mayflower, having fulfilled its role as a vessel of passage, stood anchored in the background as Plymouth Colony took shape. The legacy of the Mayflower Voyage was now written in the foundations of the homes, structures, and relationships that emerged on the shores of the New World. Back at the Mayflower anchored off the coast, a sense of gratitude filled their hearts. The ship had carried them across treacherous seas, and now, on the solid ground of the New World, they were ready to embark on the next chapter of their journey, one that would leave an indelible mark on the history of a continent. The Mayflower had not only transported them physically but had become a symbol of their resilience, unity, and the enduring pursuit of freedom. The Pilgrims' journey on the Mayflower laid the foundation for the establishment of Plymouth Colony, a significant chapter in American history. Their resilience and determination continue to inspire generations, symbolizing the pursuit of freedom and the quest for a better life. The Pilgrims, having braved the challenges of the Mayflower Voyage and the harsh realities of the New England wilderness, began the monumental task of establishing Plymouth Colony. Their journey was not just about survival but about laying the groundwork for a community built on principles of self-governance, religious freedom, and cooperation. With the Mayflower in the background, Plymouth Colony started to take shape. The Pilgrims, driven by a spirit of industry and collaboration, built homes, communal structures, and fortifications. Each structure was a testament to their resilience and determination to create a new life in a land that was both unfamiliar and full of promise. The interactions between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag people unfolded in a delicate dance of mutual learning and cooperation. Figures like Squanto played a crucial role in facilitating communication and helping the Pilgrims adapt to the challenges of the New World. These early interactions laid the foundation for future relationships between European settlers and Native American communities, marking a complex chapter in American history. As the Pilgrims faced the trials of their first winter in Plymouth, they forged alliances with the Wampanoag. The shared celebration of the first Thanksgiving in 1621 reflected a spirit of gratitude and cooperation between the settlers and the indigenous people. This event would become a symbol of unity and shared humanity, resonating through generations as a cornerstone of American tradition. The Mayflower, having fulfilled its role in transporting the Pilgrims to the New World, stood in the background as Plymouth Colony thrived. The lessons learned aboard the ship and the principles enshrined in the Mayflower Compact became the bedrock of a community that would eventually contribute to the ideals of democracy and freedom that define the United States. As the Pilgrims reflected on their journey, they looked towards the future with a sense of hope and determination. The Mayflower Voyage was not just a historical event but a transformative experience that left an enduring legacy, a legacy of resilience, religious freedom, and the pursuit of a better life in a land of opportunity. As the Mayflower sailed away from the shores of Plymouth, it left behind more than just a physical vessel. It left a legacy that would inspire future generations, symbolizing the courage to face the unknown, the commitment to democratic principles, and the enduring spirit of those who sought a new beginning in the vast expanse of the New World. As we look back on the Mayflower Voyage, let us remember the Pilgrims and their journey, a journey that shaped the course of history and contributed to the rich tapestry of the American story. May the lessons learned aboard the Mayflower continue to inspire us to embrace freedom, diversity, and the pursuit of a better future for all. The Mayflower Voyage is a testament to the human spirit's enduring quest for liberty and the pursuit of a better future. As we reflect on this historic journey, let us remember the Pilgrims' courage and the enduring legacy they left behind in the New World. Thank you for joining us on this voyage through history. May the story of the Mayflower continue to inspire us to seek a world where freedom and opportunity abound.